Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of week 36. Our learning intention for today is to explain how adaptation by natural selection is important for survival and reproduction when environmental conditions change. Your agenda is on the left and your work due by Thursday is on the right. Be sure to complete your check-in. Slide 16 and the 3 ed puzzles posted on Google Classroom. Your exit ticket for day 2 is on slide 19. As far as announcements, Friday homework support will be from 9:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. The last day of distance learning will be on Tuesday, May 25. After that, you'll receive remote learning packets for May 26, 27, 29, and June 1 and June 3. There will be no school on May 31 and June 2 due to Memorial Day and 8th grade graduation. Slide 15. All right, so artificial selection. Darwin also had a hobby of breeding pigeons. He bred pigeons of different colors and shapes. In this way, he produced new, fancy varieties. The breeding of organisms for desired characteristics is called selective breeding, right? And so if you were, maybe he saw a pigeon that had an orange beak, and then he saw another pigeon that had larger wings, and he wanted the resulting pigeon to have both an orange beak and maybe larger wings. He could breed those pigeons and hope that the resulting pigeon, right, the offspring, will have the traits that he desired. Like many plants and animals produced from selective breeding, pigeons look different from their ancestors. Darwin saw that changes caused by selective breeding were more like changes caused by natural selection. Instead of nature selecting variations, humans selected them. So Darwin called this artificial selection, right? Artificial, if something is artificial, it is not real, right? It's not, so in this case, it's not nature selecting, right? People are selecting, so it's not really natural selection. It's called artificial or not real selection. Advantages of selective breeding, right? So there are 2 names you can use for this idea, right? You can either say selective breeding, and that would mean the same thing as artificial selection. So if one term makes more sense to you than others, then go with that one, okay? So advantages of selective breeding. Selective breeding tries to establish certain traits that animals will pass on to the next generation. These traits that humans find desirable in domesticated species, such as if, say, for example, if they're disease resistant, if they're strong, if they're more calm, maybe you want more lean meat, maybe you want more endurance, right? So behind me, I have a lot of dogs, right? And so often people breed different dog types together, and they have a certain mix that they want, right? So a dog and a poodle, a Labrador and a poodle would make a Labradoodle, right? And so when that happens, that's called selective breeding. Say, for example, corn, right? People have been trying to figure out, okay, well, how can we make corn so that it is disease resistant? And so they have genetically modified the type of corn that most people eat. Sometimes people want lean meat. They want more white meat. And so they selectively breed chicken. And so in this box here, explain artificial selection or selective breeding in your own words. Slide 17 is showing you other examples of artificial selection over time, right? So here is Banana's ancestor, and this is Banana as we know it today, right? After many years of artificial selection of many traits by humans. So if we didn't even touch bananas, right, they would look like this. But over time, people have been selecting traits that they like for how they want bananas to look. And we have this right now in our society instead of this, right? Animal artificial selection. This wild cow is the ancestor of all domesticated cattle. And here is the domesticated dairy cow. What kind of differences are there? I see several. Okay, right here. If you have wild cabbage, you can select different parts and have cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, kohlrabi, and cabbage. And then here we've got your wild watermelons. And these, right, the typical watermelons you and I know, that is the modern watermelon, but it is the artificially selected watermelon. Slide 18 has your glossary of words if you want to study. This link will take you to Quizlet. And slide 19, what's an example of artificial selection in Merced or in your home or anywhere that you can think of around where we live? And so here, an example of artificial selection is ... All right, be sure that you have all the correct slides filled out and that you turn in your classwork slides. Have a great rest of your day.